Welcome.
Welcome.
Aren't you, sir? Oh, it's a lovely day today.
Let me guess.
Behold, the mighty Numa, and I am his apprentice.
Way to spoil my fun.
The mighty Numa breaks the necks of bulls, bends iron. His secret lies in the mushrooms and herbs cultivated in Ilanda and picked in the mornings by virgin priestesses. They can be yours for a very reasonable price.
You lose. Welcome.
Now you tell me. I don't work with sorceresses. This is no job for me.
What's going on? Are you about to fight?
The Conclave has forbidden dueling.
You can't just back out. We agreed. We have commitments to fulfill.
You did take an advance on your fee.
And I'm keeping it. Don't you follow me.
Witcher Geralt, a sight for sore eyes you are. May we speak?
Didn't expect to see you again. Certainly not here.
Loch Muin is an intriguing place.
For scientists especially.
We've mounted a small expedition and require protection.
What kind of expedition are we talking about?
We have irrefutable evidence that Epte Henna's laboratory is located in Loch Muin.
We need an armed man to protect us from the filth in the sewers. They're infested with monsters.
The details you'll get from our employer.
A sorceress.
I know a thing or two about monsters, and about sorceresses. What's this one's name?
I'm sorry, but we cannot disclose her name until you agree to join us.
Nice talking to you then.
Cynthia! Her name is Cynthia!
What was Hannah doing in this city?
Everyone's heard of his 1,000 genie curse, but few know that he also had a penchant for the history of Lochmuin. He was particularly interested in the Vrans and their ultimate decline as a civilization. In his memoirs, he mentions that he left his archive here. That's how we pinpointed the location of his laboratory.
You did.
The sorceress did, in point of fact.
But we're the ones who know everything about Hannah.
I wrote my dissertation about the man. To arrive at the laboratory, we must pass through the sewers.
Remember that potion you gave me back in Flotsam?
Of course. How's the experiment going? Noticed any side effects?
Or peculiar interactions with other potions?
Yeah, every time I mix it with vodka, my tongue gets hairy. All right, I'm willing to help.
You won't regret it.
Where do we start?
We've gained access to an ancient crypt where mages were laid to rest. It's beneath that tower. Our companions await us there.
Yes?
The mages will be overjoyed if you sign their treaty. Any idea who'd be the advisor in Vengerberg?
They insist on appointing the advisors themselves, though I doubt Saskia will accept that.
Anything can happen.
That lass will allow no one to control her. I've been observing her. She's a splendid commander.
Making her even more dangerous if anyone manages to manipulate her.
I'm not sure I understand.
Just thinking aloud. I guess you're here about the war with Kedwin.
They wouldn't let us near Natalis, and Radovid refuses an audience. Scandalous. The mages drone on about their coven of advisors, but even they don't take us seriously. Perhaps the prince could get something, but I'm not certain they'll let him into the talks. Hensel protested, and the others are too cowardly to stand up to him. As a result...
Hensel can't openly interfere in your matter.
Who's to stop him? He claims the prince is preparing to set a dangerous precedent by a
terrible crime. Next thing you know, he'll do a... The mages will...
I'm not...
I don't want anything to do with you.
And the bat, the owl.
Oh, it's a lovely day today.
Gale.
We've broken through in the right spot.
Quiet.
Stand ready. He killed Vanamar.
And many other mages. I know who he is, Cynthia.
In the same city as Philippa, and you didn't even bother to change your name. That takes balls.
Philippa's out of the picture. She's been arrested.
And I was supposed to die, but I didn't. Grave error.
I'll make you a deal.
How can I get into the Nilfgaardian camp?
There's one entrance. Beyond it, a long, heavily guarded corridor. You can't hope to sneak in. Renwald Matson chose the spot specifically to avoid being surprised.
Where are you holding Triss?
At the back of the camp, beneath a ruined building.
You're gonna help me free her.
Not likely. You're better off killing me now. You've no idea what the Emperor's intelligence apparatus does to turncoats.
Why are you here?
We suspect Henna's laboratory may contain documents and books that could be useful to the Imperial Academy of Science.
That wasn't even close to funny. You're lying.
We don't know what's inside. Henna was a talented man, but also an eccentric.
What do you hope to find?
That's confidential. I cannot tell you. Regardless, we need your help. The laboratory lies beneath the Redanian camp, which we cannot penetrate above ground. We want to get there through the sewers, but can't manage it without a capable swordsman.
You don't get it. You turned Triss into a cold stone. I'm having a hard time trying to figure out why I shouldn't turn you into a cold corpse.
She is alive and well. We decompressed her successfully. There were no complications.
And the interrogation after she was decompressed? Because you did interrogate her.
I personally supervised it. We presented the tools, gave her a few bruises, and that sufficed to get her to talk.
Cynthia, tell him to shut up or I'll kill him.
Silence, Adelbert. That's an order. Witcher, help me complete my mission. Help me open Henna's laboratory.
What will you give me?
I've read the intelligence reports. I know your past. There are things in there, important things you don't remember.
I could force you to tell me.
I don't think so. Will you torture me? We both know you couldn't.
Fine. I'll help you open the laboratory.
In exchange, I'll tell you all I can. Do we have a deal?
Yeah.
Are we likely to encounter drowners? Or a related species? Perhaps other monsters?
That is how this world's built. Sewers are infested with monsters.
These crypts are reason enough for another expedition. Did you see the inscriptions? Those tombs date from Gauls.
No, just rot feet.
rats are running around sewers. What we're looking for, anyway? Some graves, I heard.
Graves? So maybe there is something in this for us.
Shut your traps. Want the sergeant to hear? We've been deep shite.
We've got company.
Redanian bastards.
The entrance must be somewhere here.
If our experts are to be trusted.
Dehenna dabbled in illusions, among other things.
He also experimented heavily with golems.
Golems with the power of speech, supposedly. They knew nothing of poetry, but...
Will you two shut up?
Yes, it's an illusion. I found a weak spot. Stand back. Later, Elorn. Lisa Elorn. Later, dear!
Ever noticed how monster entrails differ completely from human intestines?
At times, I'm caught. You can get my kind of feat. Though I have no needles, they say I am piercing. What am I?
Careful with the answer. It could be a trap.
Typical of Dehenna. He was a genius with penchant for mischievous jokes, like a child.
So, a couple of adults, purported experts, should have no problem solving this.
Indeed, it's trivial. The answer is pain.
Incorrect.
No! Impossible! So many years of research together. Why did we ever embark on this? Imagine the books, the potions. Oh, poor friend. Imagine the books.
We must go
Let's
on.
get this over with quickly.
Pleasant or terrible. I come at night or in daytime. Short or long. But yours alone. Essential. I am.
Time.
Incorrect.
Books, potions.
Can you please repeat the riddle?
I'm seen to fly, described as hard. I can be your currency and heal all wounds, but not many things can stand my test.
Can you please repeat the riddle?
I'm seen to fly, described as hard. I can be your currency and heal all wounds, but not many things can stand my test.
Time.
Correct.
It's going rather well so far.
Not for everybody. Someone's been here recently.
Well, the competition's here. Kill them!
Janatha Orin! another guardian. Later, Eleanor. Lisa, Eleanor. Later, dear. It's reacting to my spell.
Travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
Did I hear someone complain about the riddles being too easy?
Let's think this through. There are 9 alcoves, a fresco in each. That's 3 groups of 3 frescoes.
The riddle mentions 3 guides above the travelers. We must examine the frescoes, seek answers there.
I'll advise you about the riddle, but I will not take part in disarming the device. I've got a bad feeling about this. I cannot hope to finish the research.
A group of travelers wandering through...
What do you think of the first verse?
I would say it describes a serpentine dragon swallowing its own tail, which represents infinity and thus time. The hourglass likewise symbolizes time. In this case, the time of the traveler's journey.
I believe it's the dragon constellation. It would be visible at night. What's more, sources on alchemy invariably portray dragons as winged, and as an accomplished alchemist, Gehenna would also be a competent astrologer. The verse must refer to the constellation.
In alchemy, the winged serpentine dragon represents prime matter, an essential component in the process of alchemical transformation. The verse seems to indicate the allegory illustrating that transformation.
I think it's the hourglass.
I shall take that one.
What do you think of the second verse?
To my mind, it speaks of the white rose, symbol of the order of the flaming rose. You see, the fresco itself resembles a coat of arms, and in heraldry silver is rendered as white. So the silver lady and white rose are one and the same.
I think it describes the full moon. In alchemy, the moon represents both silver as a metal and the feminine element.
The order remains largely unknown in the south, so the white rose seems unlikely. Every Nilfgaardian, on the other hand, has heard of the Imperial Nausicaa Brigade, which has the Death's Head as its symbol. The brigade's name is female, and they say death follows the unit. So the Silver Lady could very well be Nausicaa or the Death's Head.
Can someone remind me how the line was worded?
As I recall, the second verse was, "A silver lady shining and fine, if only her visage she would deign to unfold."
It must be the white rose.
Allow me.
What do you say to the third verse?
It describes the precipice, the ravine amidst mountains. An ancient rule in alchemy states, as above, so below. The vault is the ravine into which the riches of the mountain flow.
We must read the third line literally. To me, it suggests the Mahakam Mountains and its mines, from which dwarves and gnomes extract many ores that are invaluable to alchemists. Those mountains are a vault in and of themselves.
The verse is not literal. In many legends, towers are in fact vaults, which the hero must penetrate in order to rescue an imprisoned princess or find a long-concealed magic item. The mountain vault is the tower.
Can someone remind me how the line was worded?
The third fragment mentioned a mountain vault containing untold riches which guided the travellers by day.
The mine entrance in the mountainside. That seems logical. I'll stand next to that fresco. Let's see if we can solve this. Take your places.
Count me out. I want to live.
As you will. Try another combination. One buffoon less.
A group of travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night, they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
Can someone remind me how the line was worded?
The first verse was, "At night they trailed a drake serpentine." I shall take that one.
Allow me.
The verse I'll stand. Let's see if we can solve this. Take your places.
Count me out. I want to live.
We must try another combination.
Travelers, what?
It should.
I shall take that.
It must.
Allow me.
The mine. Let's see if take your.
Count me.
As you will. We must try another combination.
would say it describes a serpentine dragon swallowing its own tail, which represents infinity and thus time. The hourglass likewise symbolizes time, in this case the time of the traveller's journey.
I believe it's the dragon constellation. It would be visible at night. What's more, sources on alchemy invariably portray dragons as winged, and as an accomplished alchemist, Dehenna would also be a competent astrologer. The verse must refer to the constellation.
In alchemy, the winged serpentine dragon represents prime matter, an essential component in the process of alchemical transformation. The verse seems to indicate the allegory illustrating that transformation.
Can someone remind me how the line was worded?
The first verse was, "At night they trailed a drake serpentine."
It should be the dragon constellation.
I shall take that.
What do you think of the second verse?
To my mind, it speaks of the white rose, symbol of the Order of the Flaming Rose. You see, the fresco itself resembles a coat of arms, and in heraldry silver is rendered as white. So the Silver Lady and White Rose are one and the same.
I think it describes the full moon. In alchemy, the moon represents both silver as a metal and the feminine element.
The order remains largely unknown in the south, so the White Rose seems unlikely. Every Nilfgaardian, on the other hand, has heard of the Imperial Nausicaa Brigade, which has the Death's Head as its symbol. The brigade's name is female, and they say death follows a unit. So the Silver Lady could very well be Nausicaa or the Death's Head.
What do you think?
To my mind,
the order, the brigade...
Can someone remind me how...
As I recall, the second verse was, "A silver lady shining and fine, if only her visage..."
What do you think?
To my mind, it speaks of the white rose, symbol of the Order of the Flaming Rose. You see,
I think it describes the full moon. In alchemy, the moon represents both silver as a metal and the feminine element.
The order remains largely unknown in the south, so the White Rose seems unlikely. Every Nilfgaardian, on the other hand, has heard the brigade...
It's the sky.
Allow me.
Can someone remind me how the line was worded?
The third fragment mentioned a mountain vault containing untold riches.
What do you say to the third verse?
It describes the precipice, the ravine amidst mountains. An ancient rule in alchemy states, as above, so below. The vault is the ravine into which the riches of the mountain flow.
You must read the third line literally. To me, it suggests the Mahakam Mountains and its mines, from which dwarves and gnomes extract many ores that are invaluable to alchemists.
The verse is not literal. In many legends, towers are in fact vaults, which the hero must penetrate in order to rescue an imprisoned princess or
Can someone remind me?
The third fragment mentioned a mountain vault containing untold riches which guided the...
It's gotta be. I'll stand it. Let's see it. Take your...
Count me...
Then that's Redolin! We must try another combination.
I shall take...
It must
allow me.
The mine oust. Let's see if take
Count.
Us.
I persuaded Gaspar to pursue this.
We must try another combination.
Can someone remind me?
The first verse was, "At night they trailed a drake serpentine."
What do you think?
I would say it describes a serpentine dragon swallowing its own tail, which represents infinity and thus time. The hourglass likewise symbolizes time. In this case, the time of the traveler's journey.
I believe it's the dragon constellation. It would be visible at night. What's more, sources on alchemy invariably portray dragons as winged, and
In alchemy, the winged serpent...
Everything's...
I shall take that one.
Can someone remind me how the line...
as I recall, the second verse was, "A silver lady shining and fine, if only..."
It's the...
Allow me.
Can someone...
The third fragment mentioned a mountain vault containing untold riches.
What do you say to the third?
It describes the precipice, the ravine amidst mountains.
The
mine oust. Let's see. Take your...
Count me out.
us.
Yes, the members.
Try another combination.
A group of travelers.
It should...
I shall take...
It's the...
Allow me.
The mine oust. Let's take your...
Count. I cannot hope to finish the research alone.
We must try another combination.
A group of
I shall take...
I'll...
The mine oust. Let's see. Take your...
Count.
As you will. We must try another combination. How many more can there be?
I shall...
I'll take
count.
Intruder detected.
No!
Our expedition has grown thin. Such a shame. I actually found those two amusing.
Shut up.
Of course, my lady.
A golem? So Derhenna's legend is true?
It is no more than an obedient machine created to follow orders and kill. Not unlike our Witcher.
So I guess we should get along famously.
You? What do you know about golems?
I don't run into them in every forest, but any good bestiary describes golems at length, and I've read more than my share of those.
Geralt, I'm not questioning your knowledge, but I should...
Actually, you are questioning my knowledge. Listen, I know what I'm doing. I'll try to get it to reveal the word that'll deactivate it, or I'll just mess with its head. Break the code.
So now we've got a burglar in our midst. Be my guest.
My intentions are good.
As are mine. Know, however, that this may change.
Derhenna must have been pretty lonely if he gave you eloquence.
The Master made me a guardian. Nothing less, nothing more. And you, provided you stand there, are a guest.
So you're aware you're an automaton?
Do we really know who we are, where we came from, and where we are headed? Is human life predictable in that the cycle of birth, when a human is born, he is obedient to his parents. Later, he listens to tutors.
And to think that Adalbert questioned Derhenna's mastery. Has anyone tried to enter before?
I recall no intruders. I do, however, remember guests who left after being warned.
When was that? What did you discuss?
I am a machine. My memory is limited.
You're far more self-aware than a typical golem. Can you make sovereign decisions?
The Master made me the way I am, because long discussions were to his liking. I can make decisions, within my program, of course.
So you decide who's a guest and who's an intruder?
Who else would? Guests chat innocuously, exerting no pressure. All others are intruders.
I have other questions. Do you remember your creator?
Of course. I was summoned into being by Master Derhenna. I abide by his will, by his power, by the necessity encased in my stone bowels.
Derhenna is dead.
His word, which animates me, lives on. Empires will rise and fall. Rivers will shift their course.
Can I ask you for the name word which brought you to life and which can deactivate you?
Do that, and I shall consider you an intruder.
Derhenna must have been an exceptional man. Can you tell me about him?
I guard everything that belonged to the Master, including his privacy.
I have Did your creator give you a name?
I'm called obedience and unyielding persistence.
A golem's name is the word that gave it life, and that can take it away. You must have a name.
I own nothing. Everything belongs to my master. How could I divulge?
Powerful magic created you. Derhana was a true master.
He is still
As a conscious being, you must be lonely here.
You are wrong. The pain of the world, melancholy, lies within the domain of emotion.
But you can learn. They say that a penchant for philosophy can only come from curiosity.
In my case, it comes from the will of the master, who liked to...
And do you feel a need to
I feel nothing.
Can we
Of course not.
I have Do you...
I am...
Derhana...
His empire...
You're not an automaton. You're self-aware, and you think. You can make decisions.
You're wrong. I am eloquent, and can discern between guests and intruders. I can also deal with the latter. But everything I say and do is limited by my restrictive program. By the way, as an automaton, I am immune to all charms. Stop the intruders.
Damn it!
It is...
I don't...
Geralt.
Accept my... Derhana.
The man...
So you... You... Do you...
His...
I have a... Did your...
I...
Power...
In my...
And do you...
I feel...
Good. I have a... Alright, I think I know how to get past this thing without a fight.
Burglar witchers, philosopher golems, an expedition replete with fascinating discoveries.
And terrible disappointments. Shut up, Adalbert. And you.
Your master is long dead, and you're more than a mere golem. We'll search Terhena's notes, find a way to free you from your service, and expand your consciousness.
I desire no freedom, just as I do not desire to be anything more than I am, intruder. Stop the intruders.
How many more can there be?
Laboratory.
Let's have a look. This is better than I'd hoped.
A great success for Nilfgaard, this mission.
Maybe you'll get that promotion.
One buffoon less.
That mentions some bacteria strains.
Can you feel that?
My medallion's vibrating.
Another masking illusion. I'll try to disperse it. Later,
Terhena's notes about the city's history.
Later, dear!
The device. What is it?
You've done your job. You'll be paid and...
Paid like the scholars were? They died once they were no longer useful.
They were never useful, but Cynthia insisted. Fortunately, they were so kind as to remove themselves without my help.
I'm not about to be that kind.
Adalbert, you know what you're to look for.
Yes, Ma'am.
It's a prototype megascope. I didn't know it had survived.
What's it do?
The artifact detects an emotional bond with a person. Its user need only focus on that person and the device will establish a connection.
Great tool for a spy.
Yes.
Time you fulfilled your end of the bargain. What do you know about my past?
You were a rider of the Wild Hunt. I read the reports.
Don't the Nilfgaardians have anything better to do than write reports about witchers?
Not about witchers. About you. You are the sole person to have been a member of the host, and survived.
I'd like to try out the device.
You realize that can only end badly.
Cut in again and I'll put you in my report. You may use it, but just once.
Giving state secrets away to a Nordling. Will you mention that in your report?
You're sure to be named a commander one day, Adalbert. But until that happens, be a good boy and do your job.
Article 22 of the Code is clear. Suspicion of treason is sufficient grounds to strip a commander of power. Article 1 of my personal code is equally clear. Traitors must be subjected to...
Multiplication. Second year at the academy, all mages learn it.
I didn't expect you to take my side.
Well, now choose one person you wish to contact. After that, the artifact's mine.
Is there anything to prove I was part of the Wild Hunt?
Nothing. Apart from the fact that Nilfgaardian intelligence agents are drawn and quartered for lying in their reports.
An enlightened nation indeed.
You haven't the faintest notion how many people are interested in you. Very important people.
Just because I survived?
You're a former rider of the Hunt, and you live. You may be the key to solving the mystery of the retinue, and they all know that. You must watch out for yourself.
How do you know I knew Letho?
I've read...
The reports, I know. Why are you warning me about him?
Because I like you.
Let's say you've satisfied my curiosity.
Well then, consider me glad to have satisfied a...
Nilfgaardian agents get quartered for lying in reports. What does the Empire do to agents who kill their colleagues?
Nothing.
Will we meet again?
I wouldn't mind at all. Look for me at the inn.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't eavesdrop while I eavesdropped.
I shan't trouble you. I've a lot of work to do here.
Your fate is in your hands, sorceress.
My fate? You haven't asked a single question about me.
Yet it is all up to you. Your situation is a comfortable one. Do not squander your chance. So, wish to tell me anything?
I'm a sorceress, an advisor to the King of Temeria.
I believe we agreed you would speak only of things I do not know about.
I hope you learned something useful.
I'm just sorry I can't use the artifact a few more times.
Its power has been depleted.
I understand. Thanks anyway. Diana describes finding an important document about the Vrans. Diana's notes from a mutation procedure manual.
Welcome.
At your service.
Nothing special.
Welcome.
Kill!
Very funny.
For the kingdom!
Very funny. Never seen anything like that in my life. Never seen anything like that in my life.
I'll break your bones! I'll break your bones!
evacuation procedure.
Greetings. I don't want anything to do with you.
The hero of Vizima.
Nothing special.
Greetings.
I'm Geralt.
Brass of Banard. I remember you from Thanad.
Seems we only ever meet on Elvenland.
Indeed. But I suspect you're not here to...
Actually, I'm here because of your weapon expertise.
I'm no expert.
You're the best swordsmith among mages.
I'm more interested in the cultural relics of other races, actually.
I'm going to need a solid cultural relic in my hand.
I guess the circumstances require haste.
I'm interested in the Wild Hunt. Any chance you know something about it?
No, birds are not exactly my speciality.
Thanks.
Take care.
What are you...
Just curious.
Yeah.
Likewise! A pleasure to see you. I believe we met in Vizima.
The mages will be over.
They insist on a point.
And
I'm
just...
At your service.
Leave the royal
Flog your lecherous bodies!
But not one sorceress flogging another on sable fur, with the other moaning and writhing and begging for more.
We need to talk.
Of course.
You had me fooled back in Vergen. That sweet face of yours. Never suspected it could belong to someone who fanatically believes in conquering the North.
Mock me if you must. But I truly believe one huge empire is humanity's only hope. Many nations under one crown.
Sounds great. Let me know when it works out. These ruins must hold me.
I'm certain of that. It was a beautiful...
Think the city would have survived if those armies had been in...
Your king started the war with the Enshe.
They really... That was an interesting adventure, Cynthia.
Yes. People bond over experiences like that.
Yeah, kind of makes you wonder what happened back in Vergen. Did you get your promotion?
Not yet. But His Imperial Majesty...
Can he discern the truth from...
What do you mean?
I take it the Emperor has no idea his sorcerer...
It was a dangerous expedition. Casualties were never...
Got time to talk? Or are you off on another dangerous mission?
Even we Nilfgaardian agents rest sometimes.
Used the artifact yet?
I'm working on improving it.
You knew what we'd find in that lab.
Come again?
You wanted the bacteria strains that killed the Vrans, or more precisely.
This is very dangerous knowledge.
I suspect that's exactly why the Emperor is so interested.
The North is in chaos. An epidemic is the last thing you need.
Fortunately, it's now in the right hands.
Precisely.
I'm finding it hard to believe anything you say.
Did you come here to insult me?
No. Sorry.
What exactly do you want?
I was curious. I wanted to see which Cynthia I'd meet this time. The spy, the sorceress, or maybe the woman.
Which were you hoping to meet?
The real one.
Let's assume you're speaking to her. How do you like her?
Let's say I like her quite a bit.
Compliments are clearly not your forte.
I just told you why I've come. Care to tell me why you invited me?
Let's say I was interested to see which Geralt would show up.
And? The minstrels got it right. Women of the South are both passionate and clever.
I like to improvise.
Yeah, I noticed. Farewell, Cynthia.
Vafail.
It's a brazen attack.
Greetings.
King Radovid will learn of it. The audacity!
Pull yourself together!
Greetings. Nice plate.
Many thanks for the compliment.
Kitchen open day and night?
It's not that kind of fire. Only...
John Natalis?
Interrex John Natalis. He is regent,
Hard to
which
believe.
I don't find it at all surprising. The factions were at each other's throats. So an outside.
Greetings.
Here to see the show. It's cancelled.
What service do you provide?
I was once a good swordsmith, or at least it looked like I might. I actually prefer...
Give her my best.
You can do so yourself.
Ah, and how...
Pretty normal. We don't...
This candidacy is a mess. Stop treating.
Welcome. I'm Ilona.
Bearded?
Don't be a child. We came here to perform, but this place is a circus in...
What do you sell?
Food. You want to buy some? You want to buy...
Fine, I'll bite. Show me your beard. I'll pay your full performance fee.
That'll be 200 orans. Bye. Prepare for your final lesson.
Greetings.
Final? But...
Take that. Medallion's vibrating.
The absence of certain people is telling. The absence of others.
Chris Marigold is said to be coming, if late. Sabrina Glevisik. Well, you know.
And Hugh of Scarlet? I know he was preparing a speech.
He's probably expecting.
Witcher Geralt. We meet again. Who would have known? I thought cats always landed on four paws, but I see wolves sometimes do as well. I trust you have not come to demand my surrender again.
I've come to find the Kingslayer.
And once again don the robes of a hero? Enjoy the...
I don't know about robes, Arian.
Well, as much as I detested Foltest, Temeria now trembles in its foundations, and I
The last time we saw each other, you had locked yourself in a cellar full of...
I grew up wandering the nooks and corners of that fortress, Witcher. I know passages...
For a long time, a lot of people thought you were dead.
Well, that would make two of us.
Shouldn't you be in Vizima? I heard things got a bit chaotic after Foltest died. It might be a good time to try your luck, especially...
Clearly, you do not understand what will happen here, Geralt. The re-establishing of the Council and Conclave is but a pretext. The North's most important rulers have come here not to reconstruct some assembly of mages, but to seal the balance of power and establish... Only fools and cowards have remained at home.
So, Witcher, interesting.
The previous council ended tragically.
I certainly hope so. We'll start by implementing...
You'll spy on each other? That's not...
It's necessary.
You mean it wasn't excess ambition? Nice place. Has character, tradition...
Thaned was also built by the elves.
I'd like to see...
We're merely waiting for the treaty.
Why aren't you restoring your palaces?
Only the Academy at Aretusa Palace continues to operate there. The other palaces can't be restored. Besides, Loch Muin has greater potential. It's full of ley lines and natural sources of the power. This city positively...
Then I'm glad it'll be in the charge of such experienced and responsible people. Consider my fears eased. The previous...
I said...
You'll...
It's nest...
You mean it...
Your Excellency knows.
The previous... You'll...
It's nest...
You mean it...
My dear Councillor, Northern business should truly remain Northern. No extravagance excuses Shillard's presence.
Forgive me, Excellency, but I must disagree.
I remember you from Thaned.
Renounce magic, I tell you! Shatter your towers and crystal ball! Break your wands and burn your hats! Turn away!
Nothing special.
You're through the end. You've as torturer. Put out those vile eyes.
You're making a grave error.
The Philippa I'll...
Intruder! Get him! Long live the Emperor!
You're not easy to find.
Look.
You'll have... Was Schiller...
He said...
Did Tris...
She's...
What?
Help take these...
I...
You're...
How does...
You...
Where...
We're not...
Clock's ticking.
Why...
Shillard's...
Going to...
And Lee...
Only...
Saskia...
Even...
Sure.
And what...
You were...
Do you think...
You have... Move your ass, Excellency.
This is preposterous. What do you aim to achieve?
I want to see Triss. How did you get in here?
Put that sword down.
Only after I cut your throat. The choice is yours.
I know of a tunnel.
Then you can be my guide.
This is preposterous. What do you aim to achieve?
I want to see Triss. How did you get in here?
Put that sword down.
Only after I cut your throat. The choice is yours.
I know of a tunnel.
Then you can be my guide.
It's the tunnel to the left.
You make an exceptional guide. Go.
My men won't let you leave here alive.
They will if you ask them to, Excellency, and I believe you will.
Reynold Ep Madsen's orders come from the Emperor himself. He'd rather die than give you Marigold.
Then he'll die.
No, mark my words. You will. Unless you release me. It's not too late.
You're boring me. Pick up the pace.
Get the commander!
Why do you care for that sorceress so much?
Go.
Are you in love with her? A poor choice, even for you.
That cuts no wise with me. Out of the way, all of you, or the old man dies.
Hold there!
I'm not joking.
I know, and I advise you not to hesitate. Kill him, for we shan't move one bit.
Renold!
He who brings me the Witcher's head will get the Order of Merit.
But Ambassador Fitzestelan...
Your Excellency. Orders from the capital.
Now I'll have to kill you all.
What are you waiting for? Get him!
Nilfgaard! For Nilfgaard!
Did you really think you could just prance in here? Make the Emperor proud! Kill him! Die, Nordling! The Imperial Army's ranks are endless!
For Nilfgaard! Die, dog!
You're a stubborn beast, Nordling.
For the Emperor! For the Emperor!
Die, Nordling!
Long live the Emperor! Long live the Emperor!
Congratulations, Witcher. They were my best men.
Free Triss, or join them.
You amaze me. How can you risk your life for a witch?
She has information that's very important to me.
Ah, that I understand. You're exceptionally reasonable for a Nordling.
Thanks. It means a lot to hear you say that.
It should, because I in turn have information about her, which you may find interesting.
What are you talking about?
Your friend and the other witches conspired against your rulers.
You lie.
You think it impossible?
Triss was loyal to the crown.
You're a fool. That's what happens when tits take over a man's mind.
I don't believe you.
That's irrelevant at this point. During our chat, my people managed to regroup, call for reinforcements.
Maybe now they'll start fighting like men.
Time to show you the Empire's true power. Surround him!
For Nilfgaard!
Shame to the Empire! Shield bearers, forward!
Die, dog! Taste our steel!
Long live the Emperor!
Die, dog!
Emperor, I failed.
Die, dog! Taste our steel!
Geralt?
Didn't expect to see me.
Are you kidding? The only person you expect to see in a Nilfgaardian dungeon is the executioner.
Did they torture you?
They tried various things, but they got nothing from me.
I traveled half the world to find you.
I know it was hard on you. I'll never forget this, you hear? Never.
Couldn't you ask your friends from the Lodge for help?
How do you know of the Lodge?
I just do. Listen, Triss. There's a lot happening in Lochmuin, and it's all happening fast. The fact that I'm here means I'm not helping Yorvith, and I abandoned Saskia.
You chose me.
In some sense, yes. I fought my way through the Nilfgaardian camp to learn why you lied to me.
That's not true.
I know about the Lodge. I know the Lodge was behind Demavend's assassination. I know Triss Merigold is a member of the Lodge.
It's not like that.
Show me the error in my reasoning.
True. I'm a member of the Lodge. Just like 8 other sorceresses. But if you think I'm responsible for the Lodge's actions, you're badly mistaken. The Lodge is a theater for 2 actresses. Sheila and Philippa have long dominated it.
To the point where you didn't know about the murder they planned?
To the point where I was no longer invited to gatherings.
Why?
They stopped trusting me.
Because you didn't agree with them?
9 women very rarely agree on anything. The actual problem was that...
Tell me.
I was close to you. If Sheila fears anyone, it's Geralt of Rivia. The Lodge did everything to convince me that our relationship didn't bother them, even that it suited them. But they manipulated me. Through me, they fed you select information. Depending on the circumstances, they twisted facts.
We're still close. They could still be doing it.
Don't insult me.
Calm down, Triss. Reynold Ep Matson claimed otherwise, but I'll always take your word over that of some Nilfgaardian lowlifes. Now, you'll tell me everything you know. I need to learn the truth.
All existing councils of mages disintegrated after the Thaned massacre. We all acted separately. Philippa decided to create a new organization, a secret one this time.
When I was sworn in, it never crossed my mind that the Lodge's plans would soon become secret to its members. As you know, Philippa's not one for minor undertakings. She presented a plan for creating a powerful state controlled by sorceresses.
No wonder the kings are opposing the sorceresses. Nobody likes a schemer.
Philippa and Sheila never lacked ideas or enthusiasm. To control a powerful state, they needed to create one first. Or find a wealthy land with a suitable political arrangement and an easily manipulated ruler. Sheila chose the Pontar Valley, Demavend, and Stennis.
Demavend hated mages.
No more than Henselt or Radovid. Sheila and Philippa saw Demavend as the weakest ruler. His son, Stennis, blows hot and cold. Plus, he who controls the Pontar Valley controls the north. So it was in Edirn that a popular rebel emerged, preaching the idea of a new state. At one of our meetings, I just asked how they imagined overthrowing Demavend. That was the last time I was invited. After Demavend's death, I became suspicious, but had no evidence. Philippa brushed me off. When you went off to meet Yorvith and Sheila was busy with the Karen's carcass, I managed to scan parts of her megascope. That's when I learned that Sheila had dealings with Letho.
Why didn't you tell me?
I wanted to, but we never met after that. Letho must have shadowed me when I entered Sheila's room. Then he forced me to teleport us to somewhere near Vergen.
Did you talk to him?
He wasn't aggressive. In Vergen, he told me that Sheila commissioned them to assassinate Demavend. Them being the Witchers of the School of the Viper. Sheila helped them prepare the assassination.
I wonder why he told you about it.
Is that important?
Conspirators who suddenly divulge everything? I'd be suspicious.
There was some interference as we teleported to Edirn. I emerged intact, but pretty battered.
I met the troll who fell in love with you.
He saved me, tended to my wounds. But when he started treating me like a caged canary, I fled. I knew Philippa was in the area. I decided to go see her and lay my cards on the table.
Maybe Letho wanted just that.
I met a woman at Philippa's house. Thought she was just a servant or Philippa's lover. Before I could speak, I was overpowered by spells. I hardly expected an attack. The pain I felt as my body was compressed. It's indescribable. As if all my bones were being broken. It's even worse when you return to your true form. In any case, Philippa had no idea her lover was a Nilfgaardian spy. I was carried as that figurine all the way to Loch Muin. Asira decompressed me back just before they murdered her. Shillard interrogated me but learned nothing. If it wasn't for you, they'd have had me quartered. I didn't piece the puzzle together until I was here, in the dungeon. Now you know everything.
Did Saskia know the Lodge's plans?
She didn't even know the Lodge existed. Philippa told her that the sorceresses would support an independent state in the Pontar Valley, no strings attached. A fairy tale, but Saskia bought it. Saskia backed Philippa, and the people backed Saskia.
Philippa controlled Saskia with her spells.
Figures. The woman's a control freak.
She miscalculated by coming to Loch Muin. Radovid had her imprisoned and then blinded.
That's impossible.
I was there. Who had Foltest assassinated?
I have no idea. Perhaps after Demavend's successful assassination, Sheila and Philippa decided to take the next step.
That would be stupid. Killing Demavend was a way to take control of the Pontar Valley. People would forget the regicide in a year, and the Lodge could put its plan in motion. They had to know that if Foltest died, men like Roach wouldn't rest until they learned why that had happened.
One thing is certain. Letho killed Foltest, and Sheila was working with Letho.
Ever find out what Sheila was actually doing in Flotsam? I find it hard to believe she went there just to kill a monster and earn a few orens.
You're right, of course. It had something to do with Letho and the Scoia'tael.
What did she want from Yorvith?
The Scoia'tael were Saskia's trump card. I expect Sheila needed to know what the elves would do, given that a war with Hensel was practically inevitable.
That'll have to do for now.
We'll learn more at the talks.
You're going to attend?
You have no memory of how the world worked before the Thanad massacre.
Actually, I know exactly how it worked.
That means...
We'll talk about my memory later.
All right. If the Council and Conclave still existed, kings wouldn't be assassinated and massacres would be less frequent. This is our chance to restore these institutions, and we shouldn't miss it. Normalizing relations between the rulers and the mages who advise them is our only chance for peace.
And our only chance to dismantle the Lodge.
The Lodge will disintegrate anyway. Once the kings learn it was behind the assassinations, they'll start a witch hunt. We can prevent that from happening. I'm all for punishing the guilty, but can't abide collective responsibility. I'm ready to go and reveal everything I know about Philippa Eilhart, Sheila de Tanserville, and their schemes.
Let's go then.